I know that it has been quite a weekend here and we are through it. Can you believe it's already time for Monday morning? I know that I am coming on here really, really late, but I wanted to answer some questions about just the comments that you're making on YouTube, okay? I feel like that if I can get you some answers, you guys can get busy for Monday morning, and that's what's going to be super helpful for you, is so that you're able to get the answers that you need just as quickly as possible. That way, when you go to the bank, you're going to have a better idea of what questions you need to be asking at the bank, okay? I get a lot of questions from people and they're saying, you know, which banks do I check with, or what questions do I ask the banks, and which, you know, where are the banks? Well, the banks are right there in your area. The banks are excited to work with you. They just want to know, you know, what exactly you're coming in for. So when we go into a bank and we're looking for a line of credit, it's important that the very first thing that you say is, I need a revolving line of credit. When you've seen me work on the board, you've seen me draw that big circle, right? And revolving, meaning that you can put in your income into the line, you can pull your income back out of the line as you need it. That's what's important, because we're already stuck in these loans that we just make monthly payments on, right? We don't want to keep making monthly payments. We want to be paying off the debt. And with the videos on the YouTube channel, you're going to see more than enough scenarios that's going to give you ideas about what you could do in your own situation. That's why it's super important that you study a lot of the videos, just to see if maybe you have a scenario that would match one of the videos, right? Getting as close as you can to your situation so that you can kind of see how it would work for you. Now, we have people that, you know, we have some naysayers, very few. Anybody that is a naysaying is usually just being ridiculous, to be honest with you. You know, they'll make remarks like, well, you should just take your cash flow and put it into your debt. Well, you can. Go ahead. I'm not going to, but you can do it. I'm not going to do it. Why? Because when you learn how the revolving lines of credit work, then you're going to be able to see really quickly and easily how you're able to move your money around. You're moving it now. You're not just throwing a payment into a loan and then it disappears, right? So all of you guys, if you're making a house payment right now, if you're making a car payment right now, and you write out that check, or you pay for it directly through your checking account, and it's $1,000, for example, when you make that $1,000, do you ever see it again? No. Do you ever go to the bank and ask them if you can draw that back out because you need some money? No. With the revolving lines of credit, you can do that. You can put in your money, whatever you bring in, put it into the line, then you can pull it back out and use it if you need it. You cannot do that with a loan. The loans are just a different animal, okay? So when you go to a bank looking for a revolving line of credit, that needs to be your phrase. A revolving line of credit. And then you could ask what kind of credit score you need for that. Usually 680 is a really good number that's going to get you some sort of line of credit. And of course, they're going to look at your DTI, right? They're going to see what your debt to income ratio is. And then based upon the DTI, They're going to say if you're approved or not for that. I would not personally go in making applications until I saw that I had the credit score they're looking for. I saw, anything else they ask for, such as the DTI, make sure your DTI is good. But the idea is it takes a little time maybe for some of you to figure out which bank is going to work for you, which bank is not going to charge you a bunch of fees to use a line of credit. We don't need to pay fees to use a line of credit. And once you're in that space, you're going to see how easy the velocity banking is. And yes, you can start with credit cards. You can start with a small personal line of credit. You can start with a HELOC. You have to have a home for that, right? A home equity line of credit. And when you realize, some of you maybe didn't even realize that there were different tools at the bank. Some of you maybe were like, well, it's just a loan. It's just another loan that the bank offers. Well, what if it's not? Sure, they have loans and they're going to push loans in your face. But they have lines, revolving lines. That's what you need to be looking for if you're looking to really eliminate debt, okay? So in this short video, I just wanted to mention that I've been getting that question a lot. Where do I get a line of credit? Well, you're going to look at your local bank, a credit union, a community bank, whatever they're calling it there. And you're going to have to either call them up or walk in and ask some questions about, I need a revolving line of credit. They're going to ask you what you need a revolving line of credit for. Well, sometimes they want to hear, well, I'm going to kind of consolidate some of my debt into it. I've heard them even approve people saying that they just want an additional line of credit. They really like to hear that you're going to be doing upgrades on your home. So you're kind of going to have to play out to what your bank is looking for. Now, if you're talking about a $15,000 line of credit, that should not be so hard to get. $15,000 is really about a good rate. If you're making, say $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a month bring home pay, that would be a good limit for you to start at. If you're looking at a home equity line of credit, then you're talking about looking at your equity now and seeing how much equity you have available. So they'll be asking questions about that, doing appraisals if you decide to go ahead and do an application with them. The credit scores need to be probably over 680 to get a good rate. I hear that the rates right now on the HELOCs are 6 to 8.3%. Those are pretty good rates. So it's just important that you're asking questions when you go in there, because you don't need to fill out an application if you don't think you can get approved, right? That wouldn't be very smart. So we want to make sure that you're asking good questions. You're not going into their bank saying, oh, I'm just going to be doing velocity banking, so I'm going to need this line of credit. You don't know how many people have no idea what you're talking about. And if a bank thinks that you're going to do some kind of crazy spending with their bank, then they don't want to give you a line. We're not doing anything illegal. We are just getting lines of credit so that we can use that form of tool instead of the loans that we've been using now for decades and decades, right? Jesus says, speak to a representative at the bank or credit union and ask them what is required to qualify for the PLOC, a credit card, the HELOC, when you're going for your line of credit. Good to know. It is very good to know. Thank you. And U.S. Bank, I've heard, is really good too. Okay, the earth is flat. All right. Has nothing to do with this, but okay. Hello from Vegas. Hello. I hope that you guys have had a great Sunday. We're going into a new week. I'm always looking at the YouTube channel comments, so it had me kind of going on this, how to find the line of credit, because a lot of people are asking that. I'm going to pull that back up here. And let's see. This one says, Fabulous Christy, can you do examples of people who do full payments plus micro payments? I think she's talking onto a credit card. When we do the credit card micro payments, we kind of call it. And it's just like if you have a $200 payment due on a due date, then you would pay that $50 a week up to that due date, so that you're making them reset that interest cycle. Okay, we're not just throwing $200 on the due date, because that's what they want you to do. They want you to wait until that due date to put your payment there, because now they got to collect all of the interest off of the high balance that you've been keeping in that credit card. But if you're hitting 50 in 1 week, 50 in the next, 50 in the next, that's dropping that balance, which is helping you not only to reduce the interest charges that you'll have on the next statement, but it also has been known to really boost your credit scores. So look into that if you need a credit score boost. Thank you, Christy, for your help teaching us about Velocity Banking. It is my pleasure. It's my pleasure. Thank the Lord. He's the one that gave me the information. Banking with a credit union for 15 years. Credit score dropped due to a divorce and credit cards being maxed. Should I apply or just build the credit score up first? Depends on how low the credit score is. You have to kind of have an idea of what your credit score is. If it's around 680 though, you should be good to go. Let's see, that's VANNtastic. Cash flow, 2,500 credit card, 6,500 HELOC. You have good cash flow, so you could get about any kind of line of credit, it appears, that's going to work to eliminate some debt. Hello? 560. 560. When I see credit scores that are under 600, that tells me that you've got maybe collections on your credit report. You've missed 2 or 3 credit card payments, stuff like that. When you're dealing with stuff like that, you have to go look at your credit report and see what it is that's causing that problem with the low credit score. And, file some kind of, I went into Credit Karma, gosh, it's been 15 years ago, I guess, and I started disputing the things on my credit that were bad. And it was shocking to me at how easy that was, and it worked, and I got off a lot of the bad debt. It too was due to a divorce. I have been binge watching your videos trying to figure out how to pay my car loan off as quickly as possible. I only have a $4,000 revolving line of credit. So if you have a $4,000 line of credit, and let's say you make $5,000 a month bring home, then you're probably looking at having a smaller line than your actual bring home pay. So you would need to probably look at a higher line of credit. That would be better if you can get that. If not, you can start right where you're at. I don't want to discourage you. But the larger lines, and we're talking 10, 15,000, those are really good lines for most people to work with. They'll really do well and be able to work off debt quickly. And the reason I say that is because I started with the credit card, so I didn't have any money. I didn't have any cash flow to work with this. So I had to build my way up to getting into the lines of credit. Okay? So just keep working your way up. If you can only get 4,000 now, see if you can't revolve that really pretty for the bank for about 3 months and see if they won't increase that limit. I think that would help a lot. Okay. Jesus says she's one person trying to help multiple people. She can't be at everyone's beck and call. I'm trying, Jesus. I'm trying, though. We got a lot of questions. No cash flow, almost max out credit cards. Fair credit, not great. And I don't know how to pay them off since I'm not making great income. How can I get in touch with you? Well, I'm going to be having it's a 3-week. We're just doing 3 weeks this time. But we're going to do a 3-week workshop where we're going to allow you to turn in your worksheets and then questions. Okay, so you'll be able to email your worksheets and email your questions, and then you're going to be able to get some answers through those workshops. So that's $85, and that is going to be, I can put that in a link here under the video when we finish up and give you a link to, I don't think I can do it on here. Can I do it on here? I don't know if I can do it. I'm not really tech savvy. I'll just wait and put it under the video, and that way I know I might be able to do it right. But let's look at some more questions that were popping up here, because I had a bunch. And let me go. Okay. If I have $10,000 in cash, can't I do the same thing without getting a HELOC or other loan? Well, if you're using your own savings, I mean, I think that you should use savings if you have a lot of debt and you're spending in interest, and your savings can help pull that to where you're not wasting money on paying interest. But I'm not a fan of that. I usually like to see people get a line of credit first. Let's say they get it for $15,000. They turn around and pay off a $15,000 credit card or a loan, and then they take their $10,000 they had in cash and put it back into the line. Well, did they lose their savings by doing that? Nope. Nope. They literally just have it sitting over here in this line of credit now, keeping everything low, keeping that balance down. So now their savings is working for them, because if they were paying, 10% interest on that line of credit, then they're no longer paying that 10% because they've really knocked that balance down with their savings. So you need to look at your savings and you need to decide, okay, so am I making as much interest on my savings sitting in my checking account right now as I'm making or as I'm paying interest off of a line of credit? That's a simple question, and it's very easy to figure out. If you're wasting money by leaving your savings sitting in a checking account instead of your savings being used to save interest on a balance that you have, that answers itself. Okay, so check that out and just see if maybe, just maybe, you can save some interest there. But yes, I suggest getting a line of credit before you throw your savings into any kind of loan. Okay, just because once the savings is in the loan, we can't pull it back out and use it again. But if the savings is in a line, a revolving line, and then we come up and we need $1,000, we can pull it right back out of that account. I hope that makes sense, because I am very sleepy. Because it is 12:30 here. Oh my goodness. 12:30 Eastern time. I'm going to hate myself in the morning. I don't have a HELOC, but I do have a high balance credit card that doesn't charge for cash advances, just the same APR. Could this work? Yes, that could work, because you don't have a cash advance fee. That sounds like kind of what I started working with at the first. Nick is saying, "Hey, Suze, I was actually waiting for you to respond to my question. LOL, you are always on here." Yes, he is. Yeah, I'm going to go to bed very, very soon. I do need my beauty sleep. My eyes are dragging today, and I'm okay with it if it means that I'm going to answer some questions about the lines that everybody has, because I keep seeing them. That's what I was doing, was pulling them up. And I answer them most of the time. Let's see here. Oh my goodness. We have got some naysayers in here today. Oh, this might be easier for some to comprehend if it were presented in a diagram form, if there is such. People who love crunching numbers talk too fast for those who haven't learned the vocabulary and concepts. If you have that problem, then you can go to the playlist on the YouTube channel and you will see more videos in there that may be more elementary, more broken down for somebody who's looking for something like that. Oh my goodness. And this guy says that he is paying 71% on his mortgage. He just looked it up and now he started paying with chunks everywhere he can. I am super excited about that. How do we get in contact with you? So I have a lot of those questions. When is the next masterclass? That's what I was just saying. The next classes are coming up October the 6th. And we are going to be doing a workshop. It's going to be all about workshops, actually, because we want people to see what their actual numbers are going to look like when we use them. Let me go make sure we don't have any more about the lines of credit. Have you seen the negative videos about velocity banking? Sure, when I want to take time to look at them. I don't care what negative people have to say about the line of credit. I don't care what they have to say. I have been using the lines of credit for 15 years now, and if I don't have anything negative to say except, for example, if you're using a 0% credit card and the promotion is about to end on that, then sure, you're going to want to be looking at where you're going to put that balance so that you don't end up with a balance that's getting charged interest. And if you make a lot of money, if you have a lot of cash flow, and you find yourself getting ready to pay a little bit of interest on something, then you'll be able to reason out if that's something you need to, get out of that line quickly, move it over into something else as 0% maybe. Maybe move that into a HELOC that's at 8, 9%. Whatever you can do to eliminate the debt. That's what we're going for. But if you're calculating interest and you're spending, I don't know, $50 a month on interest, sure, that's a lot, but are you paying, $400, $500, $600 a month on a personal loan? Probably, especially in a mortgage. So you kind of weigh out, the simple interest product or the loan product that has the amortization schedule. That's what all of these videos teach you. It teaches you what to look for at that bank and how to use it. Because we weren't taught how to use the banks. I wasn't taught how to use a bank. I literally heard one video about using the credit cards as expense cards. That changed my life, and I got to thinking, if I can do a credit card that way, why wouldn't I be able to get a line of credit larger than that to take over my car payment? I think I had a car payment when I started. I believe that it was $372 or something like that. and the balance on it was 8,000, somewhere around there. Well, when I got the line of credit that was for 15,000, I paid off the car loan into the line of credit, and now I had $372 a month that I'd never had before because I had to make that car payment. Now it's in the line, and my income's going into the line to satisfy any payment due there. And then I get to pull that back out and use it again if I need to. But then the next time I get paid, the money goes in there, hits it again. It was so exciting to me. I can't even tell you how exciting it was to know that I was accomplishing debt elimination. I've told you in other videos about when I actually paid off my first car, how exciting that was, because I had never done that before. And it really just, everything I learned about the banks really just pumped me up to make me want to keep looking. And I keep looking. We've come into all kinds of things now that are helping people get free. From the Money Max software to the newest Vault software to, many videos coming out so that you can see if your scenario is in there and if that would be able to help you. I mean, just so much work has gone into the channel just to teach people how to use the bank. And I'm excited to do it. I'm a little tired right now, but I'm excited to do it because I want you to get those answers, and I want you to never have to worry about going to a grocery store again to buy food and having to put things back because you can't afford it, or having to put things back because, well, I don't know, your card declined. I've been there, done that. I've been there, done that, and I don't want that. I don't want you to suffer like that. You don't have to. Can you tell us the difference between simple and amortized? Yes, absolutely. I can't seem to lock that down. Simple interest is calculated based off of what your balance is in the month. So that's why revolving your income into these revolving lines of credit brings that balance down every time your income goes in. So the simple interest products, like the lines of credit, they calculate interest off of your average daily balance. Okay, not off of your high, but your average daily balance. Revolving your income in through that line throughout the month is going to make that average daily balance less. Okay? Now with the amortization schedule, all of that interest throughout the term of the loan has been loaded into your monthly payments. So you make a payment, you might get $100 going to what you actually bought, say a couch, and then you might get $300 going to interest. So you have to be careful. I rebuke that. Okay, can this be done alone when you're married? If you have a spouse that says, hey, take it over and work on it, yeah, sure. I do have spouses that one doesn't care what's going on with the money, so sure. I have several couples that don't want to work together on it, and they have their accounts separated. So you need to see, which situation you're in there. VANNtastic. I'm definitely learning more since watching your videos. Thank you. You are welcome. Thank you for watching, and hang in there because tonight I'm just popping in really late. It's 12:45 p.m. Eastern time here. Very, very late. I look like this because I'm ready to call it a day and get my day started tomorrow. But I just wanted to encourage you. I just want to encourage you to keep seeking what you're looking for. You know what you need. And I'm sitting in my kitchen because I thought I am going to sit here in the kitchen and do this live, because some of you may be sitting at your kitchen table right now, writing out everything that you owe. You know, I can't tell you how many times I sit at the kitchen table just writing down my bills and you know, what balances I had. I didn't even want to see the balances I had. I just felt like I couldn't handle seeing everything that I had hanging over my head. But when you sit down and you write it down and it's real, you know, this is real, this is what we've got going on, and then you see your monthly payments, and then you hear about velocity banking, and you start thinking, those wheels start spinning as to where can I get this line of credit? Or if I had one, how could I use it for this debt? And if I had 5 credit cards, how can I use them as expense cards? And really start knocking down the debt on the credit cards first, gaining some cash flow. You have to look at everything, okay? Oh, thank you so much. He says he's 3 hours difference here. I think you look just fine and want to go to sleep. Student loans can be done the exact same way. Some of you guys have astronomical student loans. Bless you. Bless you. That just takes working them down just like you would a mortgage. Oh my goodness. I want to pay off my debt so I can retire within a year. Well, you go, Karen. I know you can do it. I know you can. Thank you so much, William. God bless you. I am going to jump off of here, and I'm going to, I'll probably pretend I'm going to go to bed, but then I'll probably start thinking about something else and start working on something else. So I'm going to try to shut up everything here so that I don't pull out anything else. But I do want you all to be serious about writing down your numbers. Know your numbers. Know everything that's coming into your house and everything that's going out. And then detail, how much are you spending on food? How much are you spending on your gas, on your utilities, on your Netflix? Just have all of that listed out. Once you get it listed out, then you know exactly what you're dealing with. And then you can look around and see how velocity banking is going to change that for you, okay? See if there's anything else. Make sure that you're keeping journals. I'm really considering releasing a journal, a VANNtastic journal that you go in and you fill out and you write in your debt in sections of it, but then you do things like this. Do you all sit and just take notes? Like, I could work at night after supper instead of watching TV, duh. Why am I lazy? How do I stop being lazy? I want to be super productive. I want to be energized and excited to death, until death. Very active, very encouraging, very giving. I am that woman that all women and younger women and girls want to be. So I'm constantly talking to myself about being better every day and every way. And so start writing down some things for yourself. Why? What is your why? Why are you doing what you're doing? You cannot have a negative mind and a positive life. So start talking positive to yourself. You are blessed. I am super productive. Control your thoughts. If you think junk, you'll feel junky, right? So it's about staying up. Stay up. Get excited about life again. Get excited about your finances again. Know that you are going to find your way out of whatever mess that you're in right now. And if it's not finances and you're in a mess in another way, seek for that way to get out of that. Seek. But remember, your experience is going to help you have experience to talk to other people about how to get out of their experience. So your life needs to be continually learning and growing and talking to people and sharing what's been going on in your life and how you came out of it, because somebody out there needs your help. And if you can offer that help to them, you need to. Let's see. Because as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. And you know what? If we stay in the Word, the Lord will help just mold us into those people He put us here to be anyway. So stay encouraged. Stay encouraged. Seek and you shall find. That, and He says to ask. If you need wisdom, ask. Ask for it. Why aren't you asking? Just ask. See what answers you can get. And influence other people to do better as well. Okay? Let's don't try to be a discouragement, because there's enough discouragement going on in this world. We don't have to look for it out there. We need to be the people that others are looking up to for answers, because you're giving them answers. It's making their lives better. And I think that's beautiful. One more thing I was going to say. Where was that? Oh, yeah. God is not mad at you. You know, that's why when people come to me about they're beating themselves up over the debt that they've gotten themselves into, or maybe a marriage, maybe they messed up the marriage, or, you know, just something that they feel defeated about. The way I look at people that have problems is, guess what? I'm no better than you are. I am no better at all. I have found myself in trouble so many times throughout my life, I didn't think I could breathe. Wasn't sure I wanted to breathe. But I've learned now, and just staying in there and staying tough, that you will figure it out, and it does get better. So don't be trying to check out. That's the easy way out. You need to be learning and growing and having faith that you're going to find exactly what you need to find out about your situation, and you're going to make it better. As a man thinketh, so is he. If you think you can do it, you can. That is the most positive thing that anybody could say to somebody. If you know that you can accomplish something, then you're going to be able to accomplish it. That's just the way it goes. Okay? So, you need to say that, write yourself a letter. I am happy and grateful now that. Now that what? What is that for you? Now that you're making $50,000 extra a month or a year? What is that for you? You need to write a letter to yourself and date it as to what you would like to see your life like by October the 30th. By December the 31st, what would you like to see happen in your life? When you write that down, your brain says, oh, she's really going to do this, and you'll start seeing things to make that happen. But if you're sitting there just waiting, you're just waiting for somebody to bring it to you, it's not going to happen. You're not going to be sitting in a recliner and somebody knock on your door one day called Opportunity and says, hey, I'm here. No, you have to get up and get ready and be ready to accept the opportunity, because you're looking for them. Super, super important. Thank you so much for who is that? Anna says thank you. Thanks for the great information at Christy VANN. I appreciate that so much. You did not have to do that, but I appreciate you for even thinking. Thank you. I'm trying to get back to, okay, there we go. Action. Yes, you have to take action. I don't know. 90%, are you talking about the loan to value? Yeah. Some states do up to 89% loan to value. States like Texas is about 70% loan to value, 80% with some banks. So don't give up. Don't give up. I think that you all are going to be doing great. Yes. I think that you guys are doing great. I appreciate Jesus for coming on here, and he's answering questions for me, and he does so very well. It helps me so much when he does that. But I want you all to be inspired, to know that Jesus came to give us life and life more abundantly. Life more abundantly. That was for you. And I want you to receive that. You need to say that you are abundant. You are relaxed and inspired. That you're grateful. And that you appreciate all of the abundance around you. Because you may have things around you right now that you're not even appreciating, and it's already there. And I'm always saying that I am so blessed and so loved and so grateful. That's the first things you need to get up and say every morning, that you've got to wake up. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. Appreciating from the things that you see God give you. But then, I heard somebody say once that if you didn't thank God for everything you were really thankful for, what would you be missing tomorrow if it was gone when you woke up? And that's a serious statement, because we're not as thankful for our children, I don't think, sometimes when we see them. They kind of just run around the house and we're like, oh, they're screaming, I wish they'd be quiet. But I mean, if something happened to those kids, then you'd be pretty depressed, I imagine. So we need to be thankful for our homes, the food that's in the refrigerator, the children, the husbands that we have, the siblings that we have. If we're grateful and we're thankful, then maybe we will receive more, because you give to receive, right? Spiritual law. And I want you all to look at yourselves as abundant. Even if you don't feel like that you are abundant right now, you're going to be abundant. One, because I have been praying for the favor of the Lord to be all over the YouTube community. And I believe that. I do believe that he has favor over the channel, and that he is going to help everybody that the channel touches to get to a financial place that they're ready for. And they're ready to receive it. So I just want you to be thankful. I want you to know what I do every day to remain in a thankful place. Appreciative for everything that I receive. Appreciative for every comment that you all leave. That's why I look at them every day, is because I want you guys to know that I am super interested in the success that you're having. And then any questions that you have, I hope to be able to answer them so that you can move on and go talk to that bank, or go do what you need to do with whatever line you have right now. Or if you can't get a line, then direct you to places where you can still do velocity banking without a line of credit. There's just so many different facets to what is available to use right now for the line of credit and getting out of debt, that you don't want to miss it. That's why you want to keep watching the channel, so that you can learn what all different things are out there for you. Okay? The channel just offers options, and the options are going to help you in one way or the other. Okay? Thanks for your information. You're very, very welcome. Scared of the HELOC because of past history. I'm not scared of anything. I'm going to use everything I can to get out of debt. And guess what? When you set bundled up in fear, you're not moving. What if, let's say that what if whatever you're afraid of with the HELOC happens in 3 months? Okay, aren't you going to be in much better shape within the 3 months so that it's not going to hurt as bad as if you had sit here in fear and done nothing? Right. You need to keep moving. And if you're afraid of that, don't get the line of credit. Use the Money Max. It doesn't need a line of credit. So don't sit in fear when there's all kinds of other options that you have to get out of debt and to get your financial wealth started to build up for that future. Okay? All right, I am going to let you guys go tonight. It is super late. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I can't even believe this, but I did it anyway because I just wanted to answer those questions for you, get you encouraged for your Monday morning, and be excited because it only gets better from here. The more you learn, the more you know what to do, and that's exciting, right? Okay, I'll let you guys go. Good night from Texas. You're an hour behind me. No fair. It's not as late there. I'm glad you all are up, though, and listening. This is crazy. We're holding a good number for this amount of time. That's pretty good. You're my favorite YouTuber. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sweet dreams. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.